we're going to learn 3 powerful energy healing Qigong techniques for beginners that anybody can do. Even you, even if you don't know anything about Qigong, or regardless of your experience level with that type of practice. Now, these energy healing Qigong methods can be used to heal any type of blockage. So just quickly, what's a blockage? Well, a blockage is any time you're experiencing some discomfort, some pain, ultimately disease, and then eventually death comes from the blockage when we're talking in a physical sense. This applies to physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual blockages. So on the physical level, it might be some sort of pain, discomfort, or disease. On the emotional level, it could be anxiety, grief, depression, fear, all the negative emotions. On a mental level, it could be creative blocks, or just not able to function mentally properly, kind of being stuck in circular thinking, repetitive thinking, or just unproductive thinking. Spiritual level, praying to God and not feel like you're connecting with God, and not feeling a response from God, just not feeling that spiritual connection in life. This process, these 3 techniques, can help you with all 3 of those things. So before moving forward, I just want to share that this was inspired by actually the first person to find this YouTube channel and to comment on it, Marilynn Valenzuela. Now, yesterday, she mentioned that she appreciated the embracing discomfort talk that was given on day 14. She left a comment there and expressed some of her discomforts that she was experiencing. Now, she's been following along for the past 5 days with a water fast of her own. She was looking for some information online on examples of fasting with Qigong. She found this channel and she decided to fast along. So that's been really cool and really fun. But based on her comment and my response to that comment, that gave me the awareness that this video would be the perfect video for today, because this will come up in life and in your Qigong practice. Now, when to use these 3 powerful energy healing Qigong techniques? Well, it's anytime you become aware of some type of discomfort or blockage. Now, this applies to any time in life. As you go throughout your life, you experience some kind of pain, discomfort, uneasiness, negative emotion, anything like that, you can use these 3 techniques. Now, in the practice of Qigong, Qigong is designed to get you to pay attention to your entire body. And that's what the Qigong practice will do. When we get into discovering Qi in the next segment after this 21-day water fast, we're going to start to learn that Qigong process. So when you're doing your Qigong, it's actually going to draw your attention to different parts of your body. And in that process, we move the energy from one part of the body to the next, and then there's pauses in that routine, in that practice, so that you can feel the change and the shift in the energy movement. Now, when you're paying attention to this during these more still waiting periods, observing periods, then you're going to feel at times some euphoria, some very pleasant feelings, and also some discomfortable feelings, some negative feelings, some, you're changing here. You're experiencing and dealing with some of these blockages. Qigong is designed to get you to become aware of that. So as you become aware of these things, you can utilize these 3 techniques during your Qigong practice, because these are mental techniques. So use them during Qigong, use them right after a Qigong session, after your awareness has been drawn to these areas. And you can also, anytime you have this discomfort, you can do this while you're going throughout your life, while you're taking a walk, while you're driving the car, while you're having a conversation with someone, or just finding a quiet place to practice these techniques without distraction is the best way. Now, before giving you the specific techniques, they're coming, and I'm going to explain them very soon. but just a little bit of background about the way we think about energy and blockages and pain is important for now. Now, I learned these techniques from the Dashija, from a Chinese Qigong grandmaster who has been in this lineage of 5,000 years. This information has been passed down, and they've been using this in China for 5,000 years to heal these type of problems and to relieve these blockages. I've used them on myself, and I can attest to the fact that these things work magnificently. These are miracle cures for lots of problems that I never thought that I would solve. Some of them solved instantly, some of them solved over a few sessions of repeating this process. Now, the first thing about pain. Now, we have one idea about pain in the Western world because it's just the way we're taught, and the Chinese and the Qigong perspective is a different way of looking at it. So, what is pain? Well, pain is, we could look at pain as a bad thing, but from a Qi energy perspective, pain is just, it's evidence of a blockage. A blockage is where our mind loses the connection of our body. Now, just as an illustrative purpose, we can use this technique to heal all kinds of things. I'm just going to use my example of when I first started Qigong. I had this tightness right in the middle of my back, right here, that would not go away. It's because I was on the computer for 15 years working like this, and it just got chronically tight. I could not do anything to heal the pain. I could relieve it by maybe 5 or 10% by getting a massage, but it would come right back, and it didn't last for very long. So I'll use that as my illustration. So when we have this blockage, what happens is our mind has lost connection with that part of our body. At first, it's subtle. When we lose attention to something, we don't really realize that we've stopped paying attention to that. So at first, there are subtle clues from the body. The body tries to be gentle to warn us, that area isn't connected to the mind, and the mind controls the Qi flow. That's the true miracle, is that our mind can send energy, it can send Qi. It's the connection to this subtle energy field that makes up the whole universe. Our mind is that connection through the center of our brain and through glands that are in there. Now, when the mind loses the connection with that part of the body isn't getting the Qi, it's not getting the energy, it's not getting what it needs. So it tries to give subtle clues. The body's very smart. So it tries to warn us by just being a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit tight. And then over time, if we're not getting the message, it starts to scream louder with more pain, saying, reconnect with me, help me. And that's all pain is. It's just a way to get our attention. The body's evolved that because, hey, when something hurts, that's a very good signal, like, hey, pay attention to me. It's really calling for help, and what pain really is, at its essence, is an invitation to reconnect with that area. Now, somehow, we've gotten the idea that pain hurts, we want to do whatever we can to avoid it, so we try to avoid it. And we're missing the point, because when we try to avoid it, it's wanting to be heard, and it starts to increase the pain to get our attention, and then we run from that, and we ignore it, and we multiply the pain. We also do this through the stories we tell. If we tell a story like, wow, I have that pain because I've been on the computer for so long, well, I'm keeping that blockage there. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not listening to it. I'm telling a story that pain should be there because I've been on the computer. So what happens? It stays there because I have a belief that it's supposed to be there, or that, it makes sense that it's there. It should be there. Well, this is what exacerbates pain, exacerbates disease, exacerbates all of that. So with that in mind, here's the first energy healing Qigong technique. Now this one is, so you locate the area. So it could be a negative emotion. It could be anxiety, fear, depression, any type of negative emotion. It could be the other mental and spiritual blockages as well. We're going to stick with physical in this example. So if you have a pain somewhere in your body, the first thing to do to it, it's contrary to what you would normally want to do, is we're kind of afraid to experience that pain. The first thing to do is to connect with it by going to the center of that pain. So if the pain's in an area this big, you want to just put your mind and feeling, just get into the center of it and feel it first. Once you're there, you want to intensify that feeling. Feel it as strongly as you can feel it. Like feel it as loudly, as more powerfully. Try to exaggerate it even like amplify it. So if it hurts a little bit, go in and try to feel how much that hurts and try to feel the pain as intensely as you can stand, okay? What will happen is, and I've experienced this many times, you're afraid of this pain. When it's over here and you're not dealing with it, you're back here and you're looking the other way, then it seems like, wow, that's really painful, let me stay away from it. Well, when you get up close to it, you're a little bit afraid, like, wow, this is going to hurt. Well, once you go inside, into the middle of it, you'll find that, yeah, it's the same feeling. It still hurts. It's still uncomfortable. It's still whatever that disease thing is, right? But it's not as bad as you thought it would be. Once you're inside of it and you've connected with it and you've tuned into it, I'm not saying the pain completely goes away instantly, but I'll say it sounds very strange. In many cases, not always, but maybe not with a broken bone. That might be too extreme an example. But in many cases, the thing that I was kind of afraid of feeling and not wanting to deal with, when I get in the center of it, it actually kind of feels good in an interesting way. I don't know why that is, but you see, blocked energy is still energy. It's just not flowing. So what we just need to do is to get that flow. And there's information embedded in that energy. So we need to get the information, learn the lesson for us to move on. So we get in to the center of that feeling of pain, and then we try to feel it as intensely as we can. And then you say to it, I am here. I am here with you. I feel you. So when you're activating this feeling, you're in there, you're feeling it, and then you're talking to it. You're saying, I am here with you. I am with you. I feel you. Those similar ideas. You might be tempted to say, I love you, but it's hard for most people to say, I love pain. So skip saying I love you unless you truly do somehow love that pain for the lesson that it is. But if that's not a genuine feeling, skip the love. It's okay, because you're activating love anyway by saying, I am here with you. I feel you. I see you. Acknowledge the presence. What you're doing is you're activating your heart energy by doing that, because the heart is that feeling, empathetic, I'm going to be here with you type of energy. That's all part of the heart energy. So you're activating your heart energy, which is a very healing energy anyway, by doing this. So tuning into that. Now, the key to this technique, if you don't do this, it will kind of nullify the results. It won't work. So the key is not to tell a story. So you do not explain to yourself. When you're feeling that pain, when you're getting into the center of it, you're feeling the feeling intensely, you do not say, well, this hurts because I was in a car accident 20 years ago. Or this hurts because I was on a computer for 15 years. Do not tell that story. By telling the story, you are giving a reason and a validity for that pain to exist. You're keeping it going because your story is overriding the message that the pain, the discomfort, the energy block is trying to tell you. Basically, telling the story, you're telling your own story, you're not listening to it, you're overriding it, and that's why there's a blockage. You're causing the disconnection by the story. And no judgment. Don't look at it as bad. Don't look at it, you could say it's bad because you don't like the feeling, but you can also rationalize that it's good because it's giving you a signal. It's inviting you to reconnect. It's a warning, and that's a good thing, because if you hear the warning and you do the thing, now you've gotten the message, and it will not grow into disease or death, which is where all this leads if the blockage continues eventually. One other point to this is a little tricky, but if you intend to do this, you can do this. You can easily do it, so don't think that you can't. Is not to wish it away. not to say I want this pain to be gone, because part of being present, receiving the message, being here, feeling it, you're trying to get the message. So you're not wanting the message to go away. And there might be like a fear, like, based on other things that we've learned, it might sound like a good idea, like my goal is to relieve this. I want to get rid of it. Doing that is also exacerbating the problem. It's also keeping the blockage blocked. Because this thing is saying, hey, I'm here. I've got a message for you. You need to know this because we need to reconnect. And when you say, I want to get rid of this pain, I want to get rid of this feeling, what you're saying is that message, I don't want to hear it. It's not for me. Like, I don't want to reconnect. That's basically what you're telling it on it, like indirectly, and it's almost even directly. So this is more challenging because, of course, you want to get rid of it. But in wanting to get rid of it, you're keeping it there. This is one of those sort of counterintuitive, I don't know how that makes sense. You don't have to know how it makes sense, but just release the idea of wanting it to heal, wanting it to go away, and just focus on getting the message, feeling the feeling fully. If you can feel the feeling fully, it will start to dissipate on its own. It will take care of itself. The way this works is once it feels that it's been heard loud and clear, you go in, you feel the feeling intensely, you reconnect with it, it will naturally on its own unblock the energy will start to flow healthfully, and then it's gone because there's no need for it, because now the message has been received. That's how this works from an energy Qigong perspective. Now, the second energy healing technique here, you can do these in a row, or you could do them one at a time at different times, up to you. It's kind of easy to do them one after the other. But the second one is find the feeling, and then we start with a smile on our face. So we have this little smile. You just want to curl your lips a little and have the smile in your eyes, just a gentle, peaceful smile on your face. And that smile is connecting with the middle of your brain. That's all in the same area. So just have this gentle inner smile, smiling inwardly for a moment, and then take that smile and smile to the painful area. So, smiling from your face to the center of that area. And then as you smile from here to there, it's like a greeting. You're saying hello, you're reconnecting. And then this smile goes to the center of that area. And then in that area, you start to feel it smile. You feel every little cell, every little energy particle, you can even imagine a little smile in there. The whole thing kind of curls up and smiles and matches your face. That energy, the smile starts to happen in there. And then you can feel that area smiling back. And what you're doing here is you're connecting your brain, your mind, with that area. So you're establishing that connection. And then from that area, smile to the heart. So we go from the brain, the face, the smile on the face, inside the brain, to the area. Get the area smiling. The area smiles back to the brain, so they have that connection. Now the area is smiling. Now we smile to the center of our chest, right at the heart level. That's called the heart center. We smile there. And we feel the heart greeting the smile from the painful area. The heart smiles back. We feel the whole heart smiling. The heart smiles back to that area. And then we can cycle from the mind to the discomfortable area, to the heart, back to the discomfortable area, back to the mind, back to the area, back to the heart. We're focused more on the heart, so we keep going to the area from the heart, or to the area from the mind and back, so we're actually hitting that area twice as often. And again, connecting with the heart is awakening the healing energy. It's love, it's compassion, it's got all of that good stuff that you would expect is needed for healing. And that brings us to the next energy healing technique. And this is focusing on that area. What you want to do is think of a clear blue sky and just kind of superimpose it over that area. We don't have anything negative associated with a clear blue sky. We associate that with a sunny day, with life being good, with a walk in the park. There's a lot of good associations with a sunny day. You don't need to imagine the sun, you can, but just a clear blue sky. That's just, you know, a symbol of unobstructive, no blockages, free-flowing energy. It's gentle, it's peaceful, it's healing. It's, you know, therapy would just be to go outside and lay on the ground and look at that clear blue sky. Would be a therapeutic session on its own. So you imagine the clear blue sky, and then it just kind of colors that area. You see the clear blue sky sort of penetrating into that area, merging with it, nourishing it, feeding it with energy, giving it, you know, just, that's all you really need to imagine is just the clear blue sky merging with that area, kind of turning it a little bit blue, and giving it that clear blue sky energy, nourishing, feeding, being with that area. And if you hold this for a minute, you will start to feel, with all three of these techniques, if you get in there and pay attention to that pain and feel it intensely, or if you're smiling to that area and smiling genuinely, and if you feel the clear blue sky in there and the clear blue sky is nourishing that area, each one of these three techniques, hold them as long as you can. And here is an interesting challenge for this. Try to feel that intense feeling as intensely as you can for as long as you can while doing these techniques. Your goal is to feel the feeling and get the message. It's backwards on what we used to believe, right? I want to avoid pain at all costs. Now we want to experience the most intense form of that pain as we can in all of these. And then see how long you can make it last where it's that intense. When you first go in, you feel it intensely. See how long that will last. And it's funny because when you try to prolong it, when you try to feel it that intense and you do these methods, you'll feel it start to soften. It will start to break up. The energy will start to flow. It won't be blocked anymore. It'll start to dissipate. Now, for some things, this may take multiple sessions because there's different layers of healing, and you also have different levels of belief that, you know, that's been there for a long time. It can't just go away instantly. Well, if you have that strong belief inside you, then it may take a few sessions of doing this. But when you do one session and feel 10, 20, 30% relief, then, you know, some time will go by and you'll say, wow, that actually kind of worked. Let me do it again. You feel some more relief. You're just gradually changing your belief that this can be healed. On the other hand, I've had things heal instantly. They never came back. The connection happened, and it was just miraculous. Like, wow, that's been there for a long time, and I healed it overnight. I healed it instantly in 5 minutes. So do this process for as long as you can on those areas, and you know, if you can't do it anymore, you start to lose your concentration, you know, come back and do some more later. Every time you become aware of it, use these techniques until it's gone, and now you've made the reconnection. And this comes in handy for lots of things. So even though I said at the beginning that this was energy healing Qigong for beginners, this is energy healing Qigong for ultra advanced. You can use this forever. It's always going to work. Whether you're doing other Qigong or not, it's obviously more powerful if you're combining it with other Qigong because you have more powerful energy and buildup, and you have more capacity to flow that energy, so this will just get more and more powerful as you practice Qigong. Well, thank you for watching this video. I am grateful for you spending the time to do this. I'm also grateful for your comments. That comment yesterday by Marilynn gave me the perfect video to do for today. Why it's helpful to me is because I have lots I want to share over time, and this video might not have got made for another year, but now that I'm aware that this was needed now, I'm able to custom tailor it to you guys. So share your opinions, share your results. That's just going to trigger you know, the best lessons for our community here that's developing. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video discussing Qigong and fasting. Today's fasting lessons, they're always on the blog. I've got my stats, my weight, everything on the blog. Today I just wanted to focus purely on Qigong, and the fasting stuff, not a lot has changed. You can check out the details on the blog for anything you might be curious about. And until tomorrow, how love.